Hi everybody, Father Jim, the masked priest. I hope you're still wearing yours. I know they are a nuisance, but they are very necessary to wear these days so we can control this pandemic the best we can. Just a couple of things I'd like to talk about this day as we gather again. For one thing, I'd like to wish you all a very happy, healthy New Year 2021. I hope this will be a year that we can finally put the pandemic behind us and move on to some kind of a normal life once again. But in the meantime, we will simply keep our faith and keep praying. And the whole Christmas season that we just finished is the Feast of the Incarnation. I like that term better than the Christmas season even, because it simply means that God became one of us and lived among us. And that wasn't just an historical event. He is still with us in every way, in so many ways. So as we go through these days of frightening decisions and everything else, just keep that in mind, that Jesus is here present with us and will bring us through it. And that's an important thing. We have some nice things going on in the parish, again, as always. One thing I'd like to talk about is our confirmation class. Now, it's somewhat smaller this year because of the pandemic, I guess, and I don't know, but they're just a bunch of great kids. They really are, and very enthusiastic about doing things. But the teacher is Joanne Mavis, and the coordinator is Char Golubeck. And we decided to have a new approach for confirmation. By the time these kids get in 8th grade, they're like 15 years old or 14 years old, and they're very computer savvy. They're very media savvy, and I think it's a whole different generation. And we decided that as important as it is to be academically informed about our faith, we need to do that. That's a given, but it doesn't turn the kids on like we think it should. So what we're trying to do is a different approach. And what they've been doing, and doing very, very well, is not just sitting in the classroom talking about their faith. And I'm not saying that's bad, but they're not doing that. What they're doing is living their faith. And they've done so many wonderful things just in the short time that they've been together. For example, I'm sure you've heard about it now. Joanne had this idea of the reverse Advent wreath, Advent calendar, where you take one of the tabs, and instead of getting a piece of candy, you give something instead of take. And what they were giving was a can of, or some kind of non-perishable food. And it was extended to the whole community. And pardon me, and it turned out that they had collected about 4,600 items of food. Just amazing. And they got the attention of the media. Channel 16 WNEP was here. Both local newspapers, the Citizen's Voice and the Times Leader. And I don't know how this happened, really, but it even made the Wall Street Journal. They have a picture in there and a little story about the St. Faustina in Nanticoke, Pennsylvania, in the Wall Street Journal. And the diocese got a hold of it, and they put it on their Facebook page, and it got better and better and better. And it made the kids feel really good that what they did was being noticed and acknowledged, and it taught them a lot about giving to others. It's not just receiving, but it's about giving. And that was really a wonderful thing. Their new project is, and they're working very hard on this. I happened to be sitting in on their videoing last night, is Endless Dreams, which is a animal shelter. Wonderful people. They take animals who are ill or abused or injured or whatever it might be, and take them in as a shelter. Everything but dogs and cats. Not that they're against dogs and cats, but the dogs and cats are better taken care of with other shelters. And they have everything. They have llamas, and they have goats, and they have snakes and parrots and everything else. And they've been a part of our parish as well for a number of years now. They've been coming down here for our Miracle of Bethlehem, when we actually have live animals in the scenes. And also they came several times now for our Vacation Bible School. And they're a big hit with the kids because they don't just show them the animals, but they teach them about the animals. So they're very good. But they're, like a lot of organizations these days with the pandemic and all the restrictions, they are running low on money and also supplies. So the kids are involved in that. And if you want to help in any way, you can give blankets or anything else to help out what they can do for these animals. So that's the latest project for the kids, and we're very proud of these kids for doing all of that. I'd like to mention a couple of the things that you might be interested in this weekend. This is our bulletin. There's a letter from Bishop Bambera, and the letter concerns the coronavirus vaccine. And there's some people have a little question about it. And one of the questions in the Catholic circle would be, it was thought that cells, I believe, of aborted babies were used in the research. And can we morally take that virus, that vaccine? And so without going into all the detail, you can read it here. But the USCCB and the Vatican have said that because it's such a remote use and because of the great crisis that we're in to stop this virus, it's morally permitted to take it. So when you get a chance, I don't know when that will be or how it will be, but when you get a chance, you're perfectly morally free to take the virus. All right. On a lighter note, we sent out another mailing of raffle tickets. And the reason for this is that our festival was not held this year for obvious reasons. Last year we made almost $90,000 profit on the festival, not quite 90, but pretty close. And we don't have that this year. So we sent out the usual raffle tickets to try to recoup some of that loss. And I think we made about $22,000 in that first mailing. A second mailing went out with the same thing to try to make up some more of that loss. But the post office has been delayed in getting out their mailing for some reason. And I know a lot of people haven't received their tickets yet. And so therefore the cash raffle EarlyBird Drawing has been changed to Sunday, January 31st. Will be the drawing for the early bird drawing. Just so you know that, all right? And we appreciate your support. And in regard to that support, I'd like to say this. I don't know how I can express my gratitude to people of this parish. Our collections are a bit down. Sometimes they're right on target, but people have been so good to make sure that they send in their weekly offerings so that we are not having a financial crisis. We are being able to maintain our status. Our bills are being paid, and that's only because of your generosity and love for your parish. And I really, really want to thank you for that. Even our diocesan annual appeal, we are only, I think, I'm just approximating now, but about $10,000 short of the $47,000, which is really incredible considering what we're dealing with. So thank you for your support of that. This week's bulletin will have a complete rundown of how much profit we made in all the different fundraisers that have been going on. The one that's coming up very soon is the drive-through Piggie dinner. And I'll be there driving through it, believe me. It's going to be Sunday, January 24th. Sunday, January 24th. If we have snow that day, it'll be Sunday, January 31st. And it will be from noon until 3 p.m. But what I want to call your attention to is the fact that this will be held at the alternate site hall at St. Mary's in the parking lot. And it'll be, I'm not sure how the whole thing will be set up, but it will be a drive-through. You don't need to get out of your car, and it will all be taken care of. And it includes piggies, of course, mashed potatoes, corn, applesauce, and dessert. And additional piggies can be purchased. So those are wonderful things, and I'm so grateful to the people who are making this happen, making all these events happen. The other thing I'd like to call your attention to, I think it's amazing, this is another tribute to our people, that in spite of all the shutdowns that we have to have and so forth, they're finding ways to work around it. and continue lots of activities. Our youth ministry, our mini youth ministry, and our youth ministry under the direction of Sandy Repack is sponsoring Undy Sunday weekend. Undy Sunday. Some people had a little comment about the name of that, but when you think about it, we have a clothing store, our Mary's Closet, but underwear is not something you're going to give. So they need new things like that, and it's going to be Sunday, January 30th and January 31st, and that would include socks, diapers. And by the way, I heard through the grapevine at the Pennsylvanians for Human Life Center on Hanover Street in Wilkes-Barre having a shortage of diapers, so that would be something they really could use. And Undy donations for children, men, and women. And all of it will be donated to Mary's Closet here at Nanticoke. So we're very grateful for that. And you can also there are boxes to give the supplies in at the entrance of the church and also in the chapel. And of course, monetary donations will be taken. I know that in the past, when they received monetary donations, they went to the stores and bought diapers, disposable diapers for kids. So a lot of good things are happening. We are getting ready, and we're not going to talk about it tonight, but you'll hear more about it very soon, about our Lenten regulations. Bishop Ambera has just sent out an email to all the priests and the deacons of the diocese with some regulations. We are still going to be limited on what we can do and what we can't do. So we'll get those out to you as well. So I'd like to just conclude by saying God bless you all. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you for your faith that you continue with during these very trying times. You are beacons of hope. You are beacons of faith. And as your pastor, I am just humbled to be able to be here to minister with and for you. And you minister with and for me in many ways as well. So may 2021 be a good year of blessings for all of us. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. And now I'm going to put my mask back on like a good priest. Bye.